All right, so this one's for all the diehard Full House fans out there. So do you guys remember that episode where DJ, Stephanie, and Kimmy formed the band and they had the opportunity to open up for their Uncle Jesse's band, Uncle Jesse and the Rippers? Well, 90% of their preparation for that gig was all about how they dressed, how they looked, the makeup they were wearing. The episode ends in them crashing and burning in front of a live audience. They look good, but they sound terrible. And we get to learn a valuable lesson in that episode, so cue the sappy music. The same thing can happen in our agencies when we focus on things that don't matter yet. I often see agencies concerned or worried about objections a potential client might have even before they have the lead asking them for help. This stops them from even finding or talking to a client in the first place. The worst part is they don't realize it's stopping their progress. But to them, they actually think that they're moving forwards towards their goal, but this is a recipe for burnout. Think of it this way. It's kind of like worrying about what fork you're going to use to eat a cake that you plan to bake, but you haven't even purchased the ingredients yet. Stop worrying about the fork. It's not time for the fork yet. Instead, focus on the next important step. It can be easy to assume the worst and be worried about not being prepared to answer your client's objections, but I've found in most cases, the objections that you have in your mind are often not the objections that your clients have. It can be easy to assume the worst and be worried about not being prepared to answer your client's objections. But I found in most cases, the objections that you have in your own mind are often not the objections that the clients have in theirs. What's worse is that you might be actually planting your objections into that client's mind when they wouldn't have had them in the first place. Objections that you're creating are normal to go through, and this is a process that you need to work through. But the question is, what objections are you creating that are stopping you from taking that next step? Taking that next step is all that matters, and oftentimes is not figuring out what the objection is, put the fork down, go buy the ingredients. That's the next step.